Hey everyone, so this is The Circle, Season 7, Episodes 1 and 2, called The Disruption Begins and It's My Party. So we start off with, at first, 7 players. Um, and they are, first we see Deb, who's 54 from Pittsburgh, works in higher ed technology, married, and she will actually be coming as a catfish named Rachel, who is 26. Um, I'm not entirely sure. My first initial thought was like, I'm not entirely sure she is going to be that receptive to people. Because typically when someone who comes in as someone older, um, or someone who comes in who's older, comes in as someone younger, they don't typically last all that long. Um, so we'll see how she fares as a younger catfish, because I remember, well, I don't know, because there was that older gay guy. I can't remember what his name was and who he, because I remember he catfished as, I believe, a younger woman, if I'm not mistaken. And I could have sworn he had, I could have sworn he had left pretty quickly, but then again, um, I'm pretty sure he had left. I thought maybe it was pretty quickly, but I don't, maybe not. Um, anyway, so um, the second player is Kevin Fernandez, who's 23 from San Diego. Is an alcohol sales rep. He will come in as himself, but instead, what he decides to do is change his um, occupation from sales rep to um, what is it? Um, Lifeguard. Sorry, I don't know why that occupation was blinking on me, but anyway. Third player is Darian, 29, a teacher. Will come in as himself. Um, and he says that if he wins 100K, he will put it all into a youth organization that he hold or that he's part of, where they help underprivileged students um, get into college and all that. I honestly think that's a good thing to do. Now, these people's strategy is kind of pissing me off, but I think the reason why he's wanting to do it is a good thing. I'll explain more about the strategy later, but anyway. Fourth player who comes in is actually a duo, twins Jojo and Nikki, 24 years old, construction workers from New York. They will go into the circle as, I don't even remember whose girlfriend it is. I think maybe JoJo's, but I don't know. I wasn't paying too close attention to who was who, but one of them has a girlfriend named Gianna, and so um, they're catfishing as her. Um, and they decide that they will, part of the money that will go to paying off their parents' mortgage. Um, and then others, like, they said some frivolous shit as like going to the casino and doing the slots or whatever. Anyway, so everyone goes to the circle chat. Kevin isn't that impressed with Gianna at first, but Gianna and Deb / Rachel bond over Rouse in Staten Island. Again, from the sounds of it, it's a staple there where it was the first one there. Because they said it's like an icy shop or something like that. I don't necessarily know if it's a snow cone place, but essentially but it sounds like it's kind of like that, but I don't know because I didn't grow up there. I don't know what this place is, so yeah, take that with what you will. Um, so the fifth, sixth, and seventh players come in as they're chatting. Fifth player is Heather, 26, works in the touring and slash merchandising business for bands. And she decides to come in as Andy, who is part of a heavy metal band. Supposedly tried to date. He friend zoned her. Whatever. um, Sixth player is Dedeja, who's 24 from Houston and coming in as herself. She works in cybersecurity. And then the last player that we see in episode 1 is um, Savannah, 22 from Texarkana. She's a student, and she brought her dog Simpson. She says that she will overshare everything. As far as I can tell, she doesn't really overshare a lot. The only thing that she really shared that she overshared about was later on in the episode when she was talking to Deb and slash Rachel. Um, I mean, we hear her explain that she was in a car accident when I don't remember when she said she had the accident. I don't know if she said it or not, but she was in a car accident, and they had found a tumor when she had been, I guess, when they had operated. So she kind of, I guess, in a way, overshares that um, on her profile, but nobody really. I mean, she didn't really go into depth about it, so that's why I guess I didn't only consider it oversharing. So yeah. So last week players have been added to the group chat that everyone was part of. And I'm thinking to myself, like, at least they don't have an AI player like last season. At first I didn't really mind the AI player, but then as the episodes wore on, it's like I didn't really necessarily like it because, it didn't, I don't know how that would have been, how these people would have figured it out if, because eventually they found out that there was an AI player, but I mean, I don't know. It just, after a while, the whole AI player thing kind of grated on my nerves a little bit. Um, anyway, so as um, everyone's talking, Deb slash Rachel thinks that Judea has an overly filtered photo and is, I guess, untrustworthy of that, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm like, I don't, because I was kind of a little wary of her Deb kind of coming in as a younger person anyway, because they don't, like I said, they don't really seem to get that far. Um, or from people, like even people who are catfishing, who are younger, who are catfishing as older, they don't really seem to go that far either. So we'll see. Like I said, after the first group chat, everyone plays a game called Risky Quizziness, where they have to either give a thumbs up or a thumbs down for a question. So the first question is, would you send someone a new photo? Everyone except Judea says yes. Question 2 asks, would you join the Mile High Club? Again, everyone else but Judea says yes. Question 3, would you jump into an icy lake to save a dog? Everyone but Darian says yes. Question 4, would you read texts on your partner's phone? Everyone but Darian says no. Now, the whole dog thing, it's kind of suspect. I mean, even if you can't, because he said, "Well, I don't know how to swim, so I'm not going to do that." It's like, okay, that's one thing to kind of not be able to know how to swim. Okay, it is what it is. If you don't know how to swim, you don't know how to swim. But at least lie and say that you will when you're not going to. Like, because that just makes you look weird if you're not gonna, at the very least, try to save your dog, like save your pet. Like, I mean, and then he had to go ahead and then say in the last question, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and snoop through my partner's phone." Like, now you just look even more weird. And so what gets me is that Judea then decide, like, when they have um I don't know, that's for next episode. So I'll wait till that. But so Nikki and Jojo then start a private chat with Deb and Rachel. They continue to bond over being from the same area, and they secure an alliance. Darian starts a group chat with or a private chat with Andy, Heather, and Kevin. And he says he wants swim lessons from Kevin. Says he's a lifeguard, a lifeguard. Andy Heather says that he can't believe Judea wouldn't send a nude and thinks she's playing it safe, and they all concur. Like, look, maybe a lot of people have sent nudes before, but just because, I don't know, I don't know. That whole thing felt a little icky to me too. So I'm like, eh. Later that night, they all got an alert that they have to rate each other. And the top two will be influencers. So I kind of skipped past this little part, and it goes to Rachel slash Deb reaching out to Savannah in a private chat where Savannah reveals the whole story behind her surgery. And Rachel slash Deb consoles her. So after their chat, the ratings come in. Seventh is Gianna slash aka Joey and Nikki. Sixth is Rachel, aka Deb. Fifth is Darian. Fourth is Kevin. Third is Judea. Second is Savannah. And first is Andy, aka Heather. So Heather slash Andy and Savannah go to the hangout to decide who they will block. So they go down the list. They knock off Darian, Rachel, Deb, and Kevin. So that will leave Judea and Gianna, aka JoJo, and Nikki for who they want to block. While they're debating who they want to pick, everyone else gets an alert that says they can activate disruptor mode, where the player who activates it will become the disruptor. And being the disruptor will either give them an advantage or a disadvantage. And while they have a possibility of a huge reward, it carries a huge risk of it being negative towards them. So they then have like 3 seconds to decide who they want to have as if they decide they want to do the disruptor. So Gianna, aka Nikki, Jojo tried to be the disruptor. So and it dropped off there. So in episode 2, we figure out that after Heather's, aka Andy, and Savannah decide who they want to block, which ends up pretty much being Gianna, that they decide to block her. And after they reveal that they want to block Gianna, that Gianna had activated disruptor mode and that they are safe from being blocked, and so no one will be blocked that night. I'm a little surprised by that because I was expecting them to be told that even though that Gianna is picked as or immune from the blocking, that they would still have to pick someone to go home anyway. Um, but um, next day, Andy, aka Heather, starts a private chat with Gianna. He apologizes and explains himself. And Gianna claims, I understand. All I ask is for a first chance. Will I give you a second one? But still say they don't really trust Andy. Um, so this is kind of where I'm getting a little annoyed with these people's strategy because um, both Darren and Jadea and Savannah and Kevin all have um, private chats with each other. Darren with Jadea and Savannah with Kevin. And their go to is to flirt. Now, in season one, and possibly even season two, I can kind of understand that being a go to thing to do because those seasons were pretty new. You still really weren't expecting, knowing what to expect. So it was what it was. But at this point, I don't understand why. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But y'all ain't. This is what y'all decide to do is just to flirt and to. I don't know. It's just old at this point to see people simply just flirting to kind of get farther. I mean, I get it. You you kind of need to have alliances, but there's no way that you can possibly maybe find some other way to gain alliances other than flirting. And it doesn't seem like these people have any other strategy besides that. And I guess that's my issue, that they just like there's nothing else that they have in mind to do besides that. And I mean, Corey Tyler did it last season where she kind of flirted with um oh, I'm blanking on his name, but that dude with the blonde hair. And so I get it. I mean, she had that, she kind of did it herself, but I always got the sense that she had some other strategies going on for her besides just flirting. So it's just weird to me that that's the only thing that you seem to be able to do. Um, So anyway, after those two chats, the eighth and ninth players come in. Madeline is 25 from Franklin, Georgia, an educational staffer by day and an OnlyFans model by night, and she's coming in as herself. Garrett is 29 from West Hollywood, coming in as himself. Um, and I'm just like, now, why in the world did you have to pick that photo? I get you're out, you're proud. I love that for you. I really do. However, that picture looks a little tacky, in my opinion. I just it there's no reason to pick that photo, in my opinion. I don't understand. Like I I was look, if one of these women had decided to who was straight had decided to come out with a photo that where they were in a bikini and or a G-string or whatever, I would still say the same thing because that's tacky as hell in my opinion. I don't know. That I mean, because it's not like where it's y'all are doing this game because there's a game that comes after when they come in and um called Throwback Thirsty that I'm gonna get into in a minute. Something like that where you're throwing out thirst traps and stuff. It's like it's obviously different. It's just why exactly do you need to I don't know, that's just weird to me, in my opinion, but anyway. So everyone then, plays the game Throwback Thirsty, where everyone has to pick their sexiest photos, um, and everyone then has to show how thirsty they are for that picture. Um, so everyone, goes one by one, eventually gets to Deb slash Rachel, who not that surprised. She doesn't pick that sexy. I mean, it's a maybe tease a little bit, but it's not like people are thirsty over it. So not that surprised. So, and I'm not that surprised. Everyone isn't impressed with their photo. Um, and then when everyone's done, then Garrett and Madeline are added to the game. So after the game, everyone gets an alert where they can activate disruptor mode. Darian, Kevin, and Rachel, aka Deb, decided to disrupt, but Kevin manages to be the first to try to disrupt. So he is told that there will be a party for the two new players, and Kevin has to, well, Kevin is automatically um, picked to be in the party. He is then having to pick who two other people who will join. So everyone's told, not only who the disruptor is, but who, what about the party and who's invited. So obviously Kevin, um, Garrett, and Madeline are obviously invited, and then we're told that Darian and Gianna are picked. Um, so after they do a little dance party, they go to the VIP party chat where Madeline asks for all the information. Gianna explained, I was blocked, I activated disruptor mode, and as a result, I was saved from being blocked. So after the party, everyone then gets an alert stating, one player will be blocked the next day. So we'll see how that turns out. Pretty standard episodes, personally, in my opinion. The only thing I did, like I said, I didn't really like is the fact that these people seem to just want to flirt and that's it. It's I don't know. It's like one thing when it's like I said, when it's the first and second season, but at this point, y'all need to kind of come up with like some good way of having a strategy for this game. Because as much as I didn't necessarily like Corey Tyler hyping up her connection and the flirting with that dude, it seemed still genuine on her part to like it. They seem to actually make a. I don't know. It just. I don't know how else to explain it besides she seemed to have an actual strategy here, other than just flirting for flirting's sake, just to hope that it gets you far. And these people don't really seem to have that going for them. So I'm just like, I don't I don't like it. It just come up with something else, please. Because it's tired at this point, and I don't know why I should root for you when the whole flirting thing and hoping that it takes you far will get you far enough. Like it's played out. But I mean, I'll keep watching because the disruptor I don't know. The trucker mode seems to be different. Um, and I'm not necessarily hating on it, and I'm not necessarily loving it either. So until it gets old, or until it gets, um, until it gets like irritating, then I'm gonna root for it. For right now, only ones I'm really rooting for are Judea and Andy, aka Heather. So far, everyone else I'll have to keep my eye on, but those are the only two so far that I'm really liking. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you guys in the next episodes.